Okay, nothing is more important for an understanding of the author. We're talking about the book of Revelation now. In Greek, apokalypsis, from which we have our word apocalyptic. It means a revelation. You're having a veil taken away from in front of you and you're seeing the future. That's a huge privilege. How many chapters in Revelation? 22. It's by Jesus. It's by God, given to Jesus, given to John. And critics don't like this book, even Luther. So if you're a Lutheran, pay attention to this. Luther said, Book of Revelation is not a Christian book. Jesus is not even taught in it. What? I tell you that because I want you to understand that religion is a very sinister thing, or can be. Now, Luther changed his mind a little bit in favor of the book of Revelation towards the end of his life, but he said, I repeat, this is not a Christian book at all. Wait a minute, Mr. Luther, with great respect to you, it begins in the book of Revelation by saying that it is a Christian book, doesn't it? The revelation of Jesus Christ. In English, we have to explain what do we mean by that? The revelation of Jesus Christ. Is that just about Jesus, or is it one that comes from him? The answer would be both. So you have to explain that to people, because in our English, revelation of Jesus Christ is slightly ambiguous. It means that the revelation that Jesus gave, and of course it's all about Jesus as well, and all about what God has given him. God gave it to him. It's generous of God to give this 22 chapters to Jesus, to show to his bondservants, and we are the bondservants of God as Christians, we're his slaves and servants, the things which must soon take place. You say soon. It's been 2,000 years. So this is a slightly unusual word, soon. In our English, that would say it would have to be within 5 years or 10 years. No, soon, because the kingdom of God is always soon in the New Testament. And when Paul said, I just mentioned this in passing, when Paul said, we who are alive, didn't mean he thought he would be alive. Because you have to realize this about the language of the Bible, that it doesn't work like our language sometimes. So the purpose of teaching, for example, Jesus said to his enemies, you killed Abel. Did they? So the language doesn't work exactly like our English. You, wicked people in front of me, killed Abel. They didn't. So the you is what we call corporate. It means you and all the people included. So when Paul says we who are alive, he doesn't necessarily mean that he thought he would be alive. He didn't know. Things which must soon take place. It's always soon because we might die today. We might be in our older age, we might die. So the very next second of our consciousness, after, as Michel explained, the sleep of the dead, the very next second of our consciousness, then we would be with Jesus facing the kingdom of God at his coming. And he sent it. Who did? Who sent that? Jesus sent it, communicated by his angels. Oh, by an angel. So we use angels. Angels are created beings. They're not humans. There's a difficulty with Bible study because the word angelos can mean a human messenger and can mean a supernatural angel. So people get confused with that. Most of the time, 98% of the time, it means a supernatural person, an angel. Just very occasionally, it can mean a human messenger. So we're rehearsing some of the potential difficulties in Bible study, but it's not that difficult. It's not meant to confuse us. He sent it and communicated by his angel to his bondservant John. That's the Apostle John from our point of view. So John wrote 3 epistles and the Gospel and 22 chapters of Apocalypsis, Revelation.